Hey everybody. So Mr. Torsen has come up with a fun lesson, which is to have kids draw a superhero of your own, like figure out the superhero power and then draw that. So I thought I'd start with a little tutorial on how to draw a simple figure. How are you going to get the proportions right? How do you draw a figure? So watch my little video and hopefully that's a launching pad for you, and you can then add all kinds of stuff to the figure so that we can see their superpower. Okay, here we go. So here's a little trick in drawing a figure. You're going to start by drawing an oval, which is the head. And then it's all a question of circles and tubes to create the body. So I'm going to make an oval here. Actually, I'm going to make it a little wider because this is a superhero. And then I'm going to add in shoulders. And I'm going to do that by making circles. All right, so this looks like a robot right now, but worry not. Now, I'm going to angle in a little bit because a superhero has a big chest and a small waist. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to bring it even a little closer. There we go. And then you're going to make two circles side by side. And this is the rear end, right? See the two cheeks? Yeah. All right. And try to do it lightly. I'm drawing a little too dark, but there we go. And then I'm going to stop here and move on with the arms. I'm going to have him with his arms out. Here's where we're headed. And so every single joint is a circle. So the elbow joint, and he's going to have his hands out. You can even draw a light line to show yourself what you're doing here, right? You're putting his hands on his hips. So there's your light line. So here's the elbow, and that's going to be smaller than the shoulder. And then we're going to put the wrist, and that's even smaller than the elbow. Now, if you connect these together, you're going to get an arm. But what we want is we want a muscular arm because this is a superhero. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to curve my line from the shoulder and curve my line from the armpit. And there's the bicep. And there's the shoulder, right? Let's put a neck on this guy. Neck is wide because they're so muscular. And then we can connect. So let's do the other side. We're going to do the upper arm. So here's the shoulder, right? I'm going to bulge that out a little more. So I'm going to curve my line to the elbow and curve my line from the armpit to the elbow. And I actually think I'm going to make it a little more graceful than that. I'm going to curve it and then bring it in a bit. All right? Now, the forearms. And let's put a little point. That's the elbow. The forearms have the same kind of thing. You're going to curve and you're going to curve. They do need to get smaller at the wrists. Curve and curve. All right? So now I have these muscular arms. And then, of course, we've got the neck, and I'm going to connect like so. Now, if you erase the circles and the tubes, right? This was a tube, this chest. If you erase all that, Solomon is snoring. I don't know if you can hear him. He's next to me here. There you have a really muscular looking guy. All right. So let's now make his chest even a little. He's a little bit too straight here, right? So I'm going to curve into his waist, and I'm going to curve into his waist. And then I'll erase these. Okay, now he's very muscular. He's got a big chest. Let's put a couple of collarbones there. Let's put pecs, which are just sort of flattened out the bottom of a box. And then there's a little squiggly this way and this way. And then his six-pack, right, because he's so strong, goes like that. All right. Let's put, we can sort of put a square here. And a thumb. It looks like he's got his fists clenched on his hips. And then let's put a waistband here. And then we're going to move on to the bottom. Okay, drawing his legs. So to draw his legs, we're gonna do the same technique. Now let's have his legs spread wide like this. So here's his waist, right? His rear end, basically, his hip area. And so I'm gonna put knee circles here and knee circles here. And you can see that his legs are going to go out at an angle, and then his feet. So you can even draw those guidelines in like we did before. And then I'm going to, now normally if you just connect the tubes and the circles, you get sort of a normal proportioned guy. But this guy's a superhero, so I'm gonna curve and curve to the knee, and then I'm gonna curve, and actually the top of the shin is pretty straight. And then you just put like a triangle. All right, so I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna curve his thighs. I'm gonna curve the inside of his calf. Oh, I forgot to put circles here. There they are. And then this is somewhat straight. The calf has a bone, the shin bone there, right? And then you can put in the feet. And there he is. Now let's put like shorts on him. All right, put shorts on him. Let's make a belt. There's a belt. And so now he's wearing clothes. And let's add little features on the face. Make sure you can see this. So the first thing I want to tell you about is the fact that the chin on a superhero, we want a wide jaw. So I want you to take the bottom of that oval and kind of make a point here. So it comes more to, it's a little more angled, all right? And there's the top of our head, of course. I've got a lot of lines, so I'm going to erase some of them. So there it is. So I'm going to start by putting in eyes, and I'm going to make them sort of oval. And then I'm going to put in a backwards L. There's his nose. And a line for his mouth, and you can have a line up. I like to make him have a cleft chin because he looks a little even stronger. And then I'm going to put a mask on him. So I'm going to arch down from the sides above here. Well, let's add ears, by the way. Let's add ears. And then I'm going to come across, and I'm going to make a little arch over his nose. So there he is. Now he's got his mask on, and you could put any kind of a thing you wanted to on him. Right? And so now we have more of a superhero face. You can put little lines here if you wanted to. He looks a little chubby, actually, so you could adjust the jaw. He does look he looks a little chubby. So yeah, so I'm gonna thin that down a bit. All right, and the ears are a little too big. There you have it. Let's add a cape. So let's fix his neck. If you start a little behind his neck, his head a little bit, and you just go out to the side, and then across inside here, and you can go up like it's blowing at an angle. And then if you start just below here and come down, this is where the cape is like folding over. And you can even go like this, and then it looks like it's folding over. And I got some guidelines, right? Remember some of this stuff to go away. So we're going to get rid of those and these circles in here. I'm going to fix this. I don't like the way that looks. Okay, and what am I forgetting? Oh, let's put boots on him. So let's put like, like wider boots. Just put like a V on them or something, and then they look like boots. And I'm gonna like fix his feet a little bit, make them a little more substantial because he's kind of big and has those little tiny feet. And there's my superhero. Now you can now add anything you wanted to. There's a couple of guide circles that should go away. And I can now fix it up. But what are you gonna add, right? What are you gonna add to make him have a very particular superhero force, power? So I just wanted to add one thought, and that is that we've drawn this male superhero, but there are women superheroes as well. And as you can see, here's an example from online. This is a Shutterstock photo, and it's kind of the same idea, right? But you'll notice that the figure is a little different, a little narrower, smaller shoulders. So you absolutely can follow this procedure, but not make that big chest and muscles and so forth, right? Hips are a little wider, but pretty much it's the same approach. Have fun.